Hey, ladies and gents, and other folks. Dave here from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds.
Hanging out with Nerdarchy's Ted.
Woo!
We apparently have no name.
And other folks. But we have sound.
Well, man, we know we have sound. Woohoo!
It's a step in the right direction. And for some reason, things look a little grainy to me. I don't know why. We use a couple pieces of software, and when it goes to the encoder OBS, for some reason, it just got grainier. Grr, curse you, technology. So, how's everyone doing today? How was everyone's Star Wars day? And
did anyone do Star Wars related stuff?
Actually, I did like zero Star Wars related stuff.
Even in my decrepit, dying state that I'm slowly recovering from, I still got to see some Star Wars. So, for those of you who may not know or whatever, if you care,
we don't, Ted. We don't.
I've been fighting a fever and whatnot for the last 50 some hours. It's killed me.
Nerdator Doug toiled away for the evil empire. Does that count?
Sounds like it.
Maybe loosely. It depends.
Now, is the evil empire the regular job he works for, or are we the evil empire?
We might be the evil empire.
But I watched some of Empire, some of Return of the Jedi, and some of The Force Awakens.
Nice. What did I do yesterday? I watched. But yesterday's a lot of like Critical Role, and me and the family were watching Legends of Tomorrow last night. Whatever
Cool.
season we're on. Cardboard Fortress finished off. Lost in Space. That was sort of Star Wars. Yeah, I dug that. I hope they do another season of that. I thought it was pretty good.
We have one more episode to watch on that one.
Yeah, you guys enjoying it?
I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought I thought I saw like some chatter on the interwebs about it being a slow start, but I didn't think so.
I didn't see it as a slow start. I thought it was really good throughout. The crazy creepy lady. I don't know the actress's name off the top of my head.
Dr. Smith.
But the one who plays Dr. Smith, she always gets, that kind of role. She does it really well. And,
yeah, she really does make you hate that character. She does a good job of it. She's awful.
And, as I sit there and watch it, I'm like, all right, what are you doing here? And, like, you see slowly throughout the episodes, like, as, like, her plots and machinations begin to unfold. And I'm like, damn.
Chief and Nerdator says Parker Posey, ?
I'd IMDb it, but it's not that important at the moment.
Yeah,
Somebody else who's not currently live on camera, what a check.
Off base, Lost in Space rocked, and Dr. Smith was super creepy. Absolutely. Like, I was just wondering how they're going to do it, because I guess in the original series, like, Dr. Smith was like a genius, but an evil genius
right.
that they got stuck with. But, all in all, it was good. I hope they do another one. It was fun. I got out to see Infinity War, so I was really happy about that.
Depending upon my health and whatnot, and obviously availability at the theaters, we're hoping to get out soon to go see it. Beth told me last night. She's like, I saw a teaser, and now I need to know what happens. So, like, we need to do this sooner rather than later.
Well, here's the thing. Depending on your health, you might want to go sooner rather than later in case you die.
That's true as well. I mean, to die and not see an Infinity War would be bad.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I guess maybe if you believe in an afterlife, maybe you get to see it there. You get good seating, depending where you go. Or, depending where you go, you get really bad seating with the most annoying movie theater ever.
Oh, man, that would stink.
For eternity, all your movies just get ruined.
So, do you have any fond lookings towards Han Solo later this month?
There's a lot of good movies coming out. I'm feeling kind of broke right now. I'm like, there's too much going on.
I know I have to, as much as it looks like it's going to be, fun and really enjoyable to see on the big screen, like, I'd like to see Rampage. But Rampage has gotta take a bye so that we can do Infinity War and Han Solo.
Yeah, I know. I think my son was going to try and seek Rampage with his friends this weekend. I'm not entirely sure. sure how that's going to work out. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know if you saw the title of the actual live chat today, but you know, I was looking for something to kind of encapsulate with what's going on in Nerdarchy in the near future. So, you know, we have a couple surprises planned. One of which we are actually going to be launching Monday, and we could use your help with this one, because that is going to be our first highly produced, professionally produced video that we've ever put out. You know, everything up until this point has been us monkeying around and doing the best we can with whatever equipment we have, you know, at the time. But come Monday, we're launching, our first video that was shot by and edited by Brian Stillman. He's behind the Toys That Made Us, Plastic Galaxy, now working on a documentary, The Art of D&D, Eye of the Beholder. So, yeah, so he's legit. So I'm really excited to see what you guys think. You know, we've got a couple of the videos back already, and I threw out some teaser images from those videos the other day. So I'm curious to see how you guys respond. But here's the thing: like, we need to get as many eyeballs on these as possible, so that we can determine whether or not it's worth it for us to continue doing these. We shot a batch of 8, and the idea is we'll every once in a while shoot another batch of 8 or 12 or whatever. But it's very expensive for us to do it, so we have to decide if it's worth it or not. So the more feedback we can get, the better. We're also giving away stuff today too.
We are. I've got a pile of stuff hidden behind me on the shelf back here. And I've got a name that they're going to go to, and at some point in time, I'm going to tell you what the stuff is and who's the one that's going to get it.
Cardboard Fortress was in the web DM style. It is a 3-camera shoot, and I guess it is. I mean, one of the things web DM has is they have a Travis, and he's been doing audio and video stuff for like 20 years. So, we've acquired our own form of Travis. And, he came with a really great camera, and we ran in a couple other cameras. So it will be a similar style. So hopefully you guys like them, and will do us a favor and share them around so we can get maximum exposure on them to find out if our money was well spent or not. or if we should just keep bumbling. So tonight we are going to be playing this. We're going to extend Star Wars Day for one more day.
Well, it's technically, the Star Wars fans have cried out that May the 4th was not enough. So today is Revenge of the 5th. Mm-hmm. So we do have, Star Wars game to be played tonight.
Or we could do it in honor of Cinco de Mayo, whichever. Both. Hey, Nordic Dragon, what's going on? So, yeah, so we do have our Star Wars game, and I finally got my character, pretty upgraded, and I haven't been able to really shoot at things but since that happens, and that's all he's good at is shooting things. So, I can't wait to roll some dice and see what happens.
Yeah, you're good at shooting things. This is taking that, and you're using those terms way too loosely. You are ridiculous at shooting things.
Yeah, but it really didn't... The way the multi-weapon attacking works in Star Wars is weird. So it's really hard to do it well. And I finally got, my stats lined up, and my trees all, maxed out. And now, it'll be a ridiculous amount of damage. We're using the Fantasy Flight game, Anthony, for Star Wars. So it's actually the only one I have any experience with. I haven't played any of the other ones.
I played the D6 version, many, many years ago. I played a couple different characters. I remember playing a Jawa mechanic. I actually took the action figure and taped the action figure to the little box for your character portrait. Because it just fit perfectly.
So Anthony wants to know, I'm assuming it's Anthony and not Nicole, who's the ding-dong that plays the Jedi or the Wookiee or the Jedi Wookiee? Well, the first game we played of Star Wars, actually my son was the ding-dong that played the Jedi Wookiee because he couldn't be an Ewok Wookiee or Ewok Jedi. And this time around he was playing a Ewok Jedi when we were doing the game. Ted is playing something close to a Wookiee.
What is the name?
It's monstrous.
Yeah, I'm monstrous. I've got a huge, prolonged snout with tusks, and pretty much my bite is almost as dangerous as my lightsaber. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, funny.
I don't know. I actually like the Star Wars game. I just hate Jedi. Like, that's the worst part of the game.
My problem, like, I would love to sit back and, you know, do what you do, because every time I play a Jedi, my character just sprawls into, hey, look at that, you've got 16 bazillion trees that you're now doing, and
Yeah, well, you know, it's really hard to get the non-Jedi characters good. It takes a while, but when they get up there, they get really good. And with the game Scott ran for us, like, I just finally got to the point where my dude was going to be seriously kick ass, and he had the power armor and everything, and it's like, yeah, we're done. I'm like, no. And had I known that would have been our last session, I would have totally went out in a blaze of glory, and we should have just fought.
We should have fought Boba Fett.
Yeah, like, so what if we all died? Who cares? It was the last session.
That's true.
It would have been epic.
That would have been fabulous.
Because we were on, what was it? Some kind of platform, like rigger platform.
Yeah, we were on. What was we were on the clones, the cloners planet, and it's a place that's, you know, mostly water, so they have these structures that are built with the whole cloning facility, the Namino, something along those lines. Certainly somebody out there is going to know one way or another. But on one of these platforms, there's, you know, Boba Fett, this old man with the graying hair, and he kind of gave us a stern look, and it's like, oh man, this could have been interesting.
And then there was like robots climbing up the side of the platform and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, my instinct was I wanted to, like, you know, just jump off the side and grab and hang and just let loose, because I was playing a heavy. Oh, what the hell's the name of the race? I forget the name of the race. They look like boarmen, kind of.
Yeah, we keep choosing these weird races that I'm not remembering the names of the races off the top of my head.
But I just wanted to hang and just start blowing things away, front with the mech suit. So if I only knew what I know now. So I think tonight we're supposed to start off with action now. So I'm finally gonna get to shoot at stuff.
Yeah, and probably blast things to oblivion.
That's what I'm hoping. Looking at you, Darth Maul. Looking at you.
Well, see, my fear is you start shooting Darth Maul, and he's just going to reflect that stuff back at us.
Well, you guys have to get on there and reflect the reflections back at him.
Yeah, I can't reflect.
Then stand in front of it. Well, that's why you got to be up there beating him with your lightsaber, so he can't be reflecting stuff.
Well, there's the hopes.
So there you go. Cut off his legs again.
Well, this one doesn't have his legs cut off yet. We didn't have that. That battle didn't take place before.
Cardboard Fortress. I totally wanted to play a Jawa. Oh yeah, it didn't happen yet. Totally wanted to play a Jawa Scrounger, also a Grim Mercenary Soldier Gungan. Oh my god, we should do the Gungan party. We will redeem the Gungan yet.
I mean, you could totally work with Gungans as a race. I think Jar Jar gives them such a bad rap.
Yeah, that's a hard stank to get off of you.
I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, it's bad. There's people who have literally, because of Jar Jar or because of hearing of Jar Jar, have said, I'm not watching the prequels. That to them, Star Wars is just the trilogy, and they will watch nothing else. None of the old stuff. You know, only the old stuff. None of the new stuff. None of the new stuff. Nope.
You probably do hear dogs barking in the background. If we're quiet, you can definitely hear dogs barking.
That would unfortunately be my neighbors.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Don't they know we're filming?
Well, I mean, I told them I could get out the tranquilizers, but they said that was against the law, so I had to get rid of those.
Ugh. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So, what are we giving away today? I guess we won't announce the winner yet. But we can see what we're giving away.
So, we've got some easy roller dice.
Ooh. What color dice do they get? These are the peachy pinky ones. Nice little bag.
We have the Game Master's Toolbox Ultimate NPC Skullduggery. high-level character cards, 5th edition compatible, as well as the Game Master's Toolbox, the Treasure Deck, Challenge 1 through 4. From Dungeon Doodles, we have some character sketches.
Nice.
The whole pack here, I only pulled out a couple of them.
But wait, there's more!
We have one of their new awesome dice trays from Easy Roller Dice. It's got the lid with the, what'd you call it, the World Serpent?
Yeah, it looks like, kind of reminds me of the World Serpent eating itself.
So at some point in time, we'll announce who's...
Somebody is getting this stuff.
I will send an email to said person, and should they get back to me within 2 weeks, it will get mailed to them.
Yes, we'll announce that winner before we leave here today. Nerded or Doug, those decks from Nord Games are great. I think they're Nord. They are.
They are. Fun stuff.
We are fans of the decks. I like the random encounter decks. Finally, randomly random. And I guess so. Obviously, the dice tray, and because Doug brought it up, the dice tray and the dice are from Easy Roller Dice. The cards, the character doodles are Dungeon Doodles, and yes, the decks are from Nord Games, and we want to thank all those fine folks for sending us their products. You should check out their websites and show them some love. Also,
if you guys have questions that you'd like to ask us, just go ahead and put question or Nerdarchy, in there so that we know that you're trying to get stuff out of us today.
So, Anthony's asking, have you guys seen the Arcane Spellworks 2 Kickstarter spell scroll props? Pretty great looking. I have not seen them yet. I'll have to check them out. Or perhaps they'll find their way on our Kickstarter corner. Yeah,
if you could send me the link to that would be great.
Or perhaps it found its way on there last week. I don't know. It depends when they launched it.
I'm not familiar with that one, and I did do some looking today.
So, yeah, some of them do manage to slip by.
I do not proclaim that I am an expert of searching keywords on Kickstarter when it comes to looking for things for D&D when none of them are going to say D&D because they're not allowed.
Well, there's that too. yeah, I think you have to research maybe role-playing games and 5th edition. Because you can say 5th edition.
You can say 5th edition. Some people just use 5e. Some people use, world's best role-playing game. So it's tricky, it's touchy, and yeah, I do the best I can.
So Peyton says, metal dice seem clunky. What do you think, Ted? You roll a lot of metal dice.
I like metal dice. The weight, the way it feels in your hand is pretty cool. And when you get them, they land, with finality.
Yeah, and if you throw a regular die at a player when they're getting unruly, that's not really going to keep them alive. But you beam them in the head with a D20 that's made out of metal, they're not going to want that to happen again.
No.
But just while they're dazed, make sure you get it back so they can't throw it back at you.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Learned that one the hard way, did you?
Not telling. Nordic Dragon wants to know, did you back Matt Colville's Kickstarter? We did. We actually did. We did not back at the highest tier. The allure of the Gem Dragons just wasn't quite strong enough for us.
It was a lot to get into all the dragons. I have to admit, and even the miniature fan or addict that Nerdarchy Ted is, I had to try and peel back there. I did not think that was the way I had to go.
So, Cardboard Fortress, metal dice are hard on surfaces with fidgety people. It is the worst. That's why you need dice trays from Easy Roller Dice in order to save those surfaces.
Yes, that's why we have the Easy Roller Dice trays at all of our games.
Yeah. So, Zaref Gaming had a question. How would you roleplay a runaway half-elf who's half Shadowkai? Well, actually, the question is, if you're playing the character, how would you roleplay that character? It just depends on whether they actually liked where they came from, or they don't like it, or they outcast. there's a lot of directions to go in with that. You know, are they resentful of their heritage, or are they resentful that they weren't embraced by their heritage?
You know, half elves you can do a lot of stuff with. Like for the most part, they get something that the crossbreed doesn't get. They're all about charisma. You know, that there's something of mixing, human and elven blood makes something that's neither one nor the other. So like that's an angle that can be played up, but it can be detrimental. It can be, whatever. So if you're making your character, you want to make it however you are going to enjoy playing it. If I'm looking at making something like this, well, am I running away from the human side? Am I running away from the elven side? There's a lot of things that you can take. Maybe I'm running away from both. Maybe I've tried to live with both and nothing has worked out for me because there's always the problems of not fully fitting in.
Finally, someone that understands DMing. Peyton, player, DM, I don't think you should DM. Quiet mortal throws metal dice.
Wow.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
I happen to have a stack of metal dice back here.
Yeah, there you go. Plenty of ammunition. Aaron Parks, I would like to see a 5e version of Star Wars question. How would you go about that? Just rename and reskin what's there. I think we've actually got like a couple videos on this, right? We've done like different character builds for like Warlocks works kind of nicely. But again, like, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Who asked that question, Aaron? You've been around here for a while. You got to know how I feel about this question. There's so many Star Wars games. I feel like it would take less time, effort, and energy to learn the new game than it does to like convert 5e to systems that it wasn't really meant to work at.
It's not like you're trying to say, well, hey, I want to play this game that doesn't exist. Like you can take something and create rules because there's nothing else that's out there. But if there's already a rule set for the theme, the engine that you're looking for, just go check out that game. D&D, despite what everybody says, is not the end-all, be-all perfect system.
Yeah, I mean, and 5e, while being the rules lightest possibly of all the editions, is not rules light. Like, I would rather go with like a generic system that was kind of rules light if I was going to try and play a different game in it, like Star Wars or Star Trek. But more than likely, I'd be like, you know what? They made games for them. I might as well check those out first. Nerder Doug points out, check out Esper Genesis and Hyperlanes, both of which add sci-fi elements. Also, the playtest for Harbinger is going on. I don't know if you can get into that or not, but if you go to the Absolute Tabletop group and ask around there, you can check out Harbinger. I'm sure someone will help you out. Those guys are really good guys over there.
And Anthony says it perfectly here. Stop trying to turn a screw with a hammer.
It'd be different. Like if the only tool in your toolbox was a hammer and you had to do that, I would see that. But yeah, there's so many games out there. Even Open Legend would be better, and that's open source, and you can get the whole game for free on the website. Which I think it's supposed to be shipping soon, like within the next month or so. We should have those books finally.
Absolutely.
So
I keep staying tuned to their updates.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to revisit. I don't know the name of the Other Skies game.
Other Skies.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I'd love to know what happened with that crew.
James Leslie says, I think Savage Rose has some Star Warsy like settings. Yeah, you can do a lot over there. Although I've not played Savage Worlds yet, but one day I will. Nerder Doug, Open Legends is a really good generic system. It is, although you do have to watch your players with that one. And you guys should like all agree, players and GM, on what's acceptable, what's not, power levels. I actually stole a mechanic from Mutants and Masterminds when we played Open Legend, and that's the idea of a descriptor. Because the way the powers and abilities are written in Open Legend, every single one of them is a blank check. And there's definitely players I've had in my games that I do not want to give a blank check to. And even in the game I ran, there was some players that had to be reined in on certain things. Be like, yeah, yes, by the rules you could do this, but it doesn't really fit the theme of the game or your character. So we have to, you have to pull back a little.
So, question. If it's on the website, don't worry. But could you all give us a rundown of the next few live streams and their guests?
It is not on the website. I can actually tell you who's up this week. Let's see. We got Christopher Rouse is coming back from the DMs Guild. He does like all the he did like the airships and stuff, which is pretty cool. Let's see, Tuesday. All right, so one of the problems is probably the way I put these in my calendar. Is I have next week, but off the top of my head I can't tell you what everyone actually does because I have to like do the research still because I do that like the day before, and then when I'm putting together the page and putting the links in there. I know we're gonna have Louis Collins in from the One Shot Group and Absolute Tabletop Group. He's been running a Viking setting for a long time in the Kickstarter Korner. You can find that he's in there. I know we were gonna have Hex Mapper on next week as well, and a couple other people. But unfortunately, I do not have in-depth notes, which I should probably put in my calendar.
So while he knows who's on, and we don't have any open slots, he can't provide the information.
Yes, it's a mystery. I like to be surprised.
So, question. Any interest in the new Warhammer Fantasy Edition? I know WebDM loves that setting. Maybe a Saber Dice campaign. So, are you talking about the Warhammer RPG, or are you talking about...
RPG.
Okay.
They just launched one over on Account of Roleplay. Jim Davis is running the game. I don't know who all is in that game. I don't know if Pruitt's playing as well as Will and whoever else they got. But I know they just launched it last week, so it's easy to get caught up. And I'm actually open to playing whatever. I actually read quite a few of the Warhammer fantasy novels. I think I'm up to date on the Gortrax and Felix. That was like one of my favorite series. I've also read Malice Darkblade. I read that trilogy. And I also read quite a few of the other ones as well. So, I mean, I'm probably like close to 20 books deep into when it comes to novels in Warhammer. But so I wouldn't mind playing it. I'm open to whatever.
There's a lot of rich history and lore that they put into the Warhammer universe, regardless of which orientation you go, fantasy or 40K. So, I mean, it's a great world to do stuff in.
Slayers. It's all about Slayers for me. I just love those guys. My problem is like it's a really hard character to play, I would imagine, in the game because you're just so fatalistic. Like I would just play one Slayer after another and look for the next glorious death. I mean, like that's like Gortrax's problem when you get far into the series. He gets depressed because he can't find his doom. It's very sad.
So Nerder Doug says, what's the RPG where your characters have 3-word concepts attached, like alcoholic planetoid scientist? Is that Fate or Cypher?
They're both kind of like that, actually, but I think you're thinking of Fate.
If it's 3, I believe it's Fate. Cypher is you are a adjective, noun, who verbs. That's how you build those.
So they're both 3s, basically.
But yeah. You like the verb. It's not a word. Like explores dark places or exists partially out of phase or like that's your verb.
So they're both kind of like that anyway. So and they're both great systems. I like Fate Accelerated. Like if you just want to play a game and jump in and not have to worry about a lot of crunch, Fate Accelerated. It's great. Scott I showed up one of Scott's home games for a Fate Accelerated Star Wars game where we were like all pilots, and that was a blast. It was even better because there was no Jedi. And I got to murder one of my trainees.
So I think you already answered this question, but it's like, what is your favorite Warhammer novels?
Oh.
So there's the Slayers.
Yeah, Gortrax and Felix are freaking awesome. Although Malice Dark Soul was pretty good too. I mean, I doubt that's the name of the trilogy. I don't remember. His mount's name was Spite. Yeah, so he had this like War of Riding Lizard.
Yes, that is a big D&D ampersand in the background on the shelf.
It was made unofficially, so we won't say where it came from.
There's a red one hanging up.
All the D&D ampersands. Tea Time with Toby. Question: have you guys considered doing recaps for D&D shows online, like High Rollers, Dice, Camera, Action, etc.? Man, it is hard enough doing Critical Role. Like 3 shows, that's like 12 hours a week. That's a part-time job.
It would be.
It's a lot of streams to watch. And you know, it's tough because I talk to different people, and like there's at this point we have a lot of friends that stream games, and it's like we don't even have time to watch those people, so it's kind of that part's just a little rough. Oh, Michael Francis Jr. with the super chat. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
It. Zareth Gaming. What race are you looking forward more, Eladrin or Shadowcar? So I don't know. You know the Geth are in there too, right? So I think they're re-releasing Dugar in there as well. I wonder if they'll change anything with the Dugar, or if they'll just run them the way they were in Sorcerer's Adventures. So previously they've pretty much just run things the way they were. Question for what I said above, not sure. Michael Francis, I'm late. How much time left? We've got, we're only about halfway through. Yeah, don't worry, we recorded it for you though.
We haven't even announced our winner yet.
That's true. What is that supposed to mean, Anthony? Of course Dave loves Slayers. Come on, how can you not like Nori Nosebiter? Or Gortrak himself.
That's true.
They introduced a bunch of cool Slayers throughout that series. Although there's only 2 of them that seem to really have a trouble dying.
Right.
Not Nori, Snorri Nosebiter.
So what do you think? Would you make would it be a fun campaign to have everyone be Slayers?
Oh yeah, you just cycle through them like a meat grinder style.
Well, like no, like what it's like it'll be the last one standing. Like the player wins, but the character loses.
Oh, if you die first?
No, like the last character standing, he's the last one to go. So the player wins, but the character loses because the other guys died first.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, I think you thought the opposite, but I think that'd be an interesting game to run.
So, all right, Cardboard Fortress question: have you been following the Pathfinder 2nd Edition rules, dribbles? Any thoughts? I really haven't, because I just don't understand where they're going to go with the system. Because I mean, like one of the things is they really, really like crunch in Pathfinder, so I can't imagine you're really going to go very far away from that, because that's their base, that's their core. And as I get older and play more games, like I like less crunchy games. Like right now, the 5e D&D and Star Wars are about as crunchy as I want to be, and the Star Wars kind of gets away with it a little more because it gets me into childhood just a little bit harder.
Star Wars.
Yeah, and D&D's been there a long time. But like when I start looking at other systems, I prefer less rules at this point, I guess. So if I'm going to play a D&D game, I'm just going to play D&D.
Right.
And to me, like I don't really differentiate. Like Pathfinder is just another version of D&D to me. I know this is heresy for some people, and they're looking for their torches and pitchforks.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like you're either gonna really like Pathfinder or you're gonna really like D&D. Daniel Tartan Kiwi, who was on the live chat this week, he was insane. I don't know what made him do it, but he ran a game where he allowed players to make characters using either rule set, and they played one game. And eventually it got too crazy because it was like a 12-person party. And he split them up. Like, okay, you're the 5e group, you're the Pathfinder group. And like he would then run the games, separately. And then every once in a while they would have like the communal session in the tavern. And they could like talk and do this because they've already met each other and adventured together. But I was flummoxed. I don't know how, because the rule sets are just so vast. How it all managed to flow. But yeah, it's apparently been done.
So Michael Francis Jr.'s plus the Pathfinder Bestiary is. No, that's one of the things. Actually, I had this conversation the other day with Doug, and I was like, I think Paizo makes better books. Like, they look nicer, they're put together better. The art, there's so much great art in it. Their books don't fall apart. I think they make a really pretty book, but it's just the content itself that just doesn't pull to me. Cardboard Fortress, question Ted. I know you've played Dungeon World. What are your thoughts?
There's definitely some good and some bad. I've now played a couple of sessions. I played one years ago at Philly Games Con, and I loved that it was so easy to dive in and play with it. And then a handful of months ago, Asa ran a game on the channel, and it was a lot of fun. To me, I'm not super fond of the only gaining XP by failing a die roll. To me, that doesn't measure up with the learning experience, because it's like, oh, well, you happen to have good luck today. Shouldn't that mean you go better, not you didn't learn anything? So that was a weird mechanic to see in action. And Elfbait, who was in that game, he was rolling like crap, so he got loads of XP.
Well, you learn from your mistakes, Ted. That's why. If everything's always easy and just goes your way and happens for you, what's there to learn? Just learn, I don't know, it was easy. I don't know what you're talking about.
So I would be willing to give it more of a go. As Dave says, like, if I want to play D&D, and Dungeon World certainly is, I would gravitate more heavily towards that. But if somebody was running Dungeon World and I had the time to get in on the game, I would play it.
Yeah, I think we're going to be wrapping up Star Wars before too long, and then we're going to probably start looking for something else to play. Now, I think our Star Wars GM is pretty much like Star Wars, D&D, or Unisystem.
Mm-hmm.
And Unisystem isn't really drawing me towards it.
Right.
Very much. I don't think I want to do another Star Wars game right away. I would like to do something different. Possibly a different genre than sci-fi or fantasy. Be cool if we could find like a really good Cthulhu GM to run that. And a group that wanted to play Cthulhu and not pretend it was just D&D. That's the other thing.
Yeah, because you have to have the
buy-in
on something like that.
And I feel like we play infrequently enough to make the horror game work better. Like, I think it's harder if you're playing that game every week. There's some ideas too. Tales from the Loop or kids on bikes. All right, Doug, come run that for us. This is a short commute from Ohio. It's only like 6-7 hours.
It's once a month,
James Leslie goes Savage World, Deadlands. Actually, you get experience for failing and for completing RP quests and issues. I get it. It's a very different dynamic. Actually, Savage Worlds. I would like to play some Savage Worlds just because I have not played it before. And Deadlands is another one I've always kind of wanted to play as well.
Well, we had something that was potentially in the works for Savage Worlds, and that kind of fell apart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
that wah wah wah.
You know,
almost Savage World riffs. So, Cover Force's idea for Cosmic Horror, Lone Wolf, and Cub Story. Or I wouldn't mind going back to some supers either. I haven't done that. I haven't done that in a long time. Well, wait a minute. I guess I can't really say that.
Phase Rip?
Let me reiterate. I haven't done that in person in a long time. Sorry, Professor Bill, wherever you are. But no, I wouldn't mind going back to some 3rd edition Mutants and Masterminds.
Could definitely go in that direction. That is another game that's, I think, a little bit more crunch involved, but depending upon how you play it.
The crunch in Mutants and Masterminds is weird because it's all like front loaded. Once you have your character and you know how your character works,
yes,
there's like no more crunch. Okay, but it's like getting to that point.
The character creation process is certainly up there. Would you be more interested in doing a standard like a 150 like normal Earth world, or would you want to do like cosmic game?
I could go with either. My only requirement is I do not want to play pre-existing IP like Marvel or DC or Image. Yeah. I always like it better when you do your own thing. So Nerdarchy, there's a Flash Gordon Savage Worlds. I'd love to play that. Anthony's all about it. Yes, but it has to be played like the 80s movie. That's the only way to do it.
So the one lazy guy has Nerdarchy as a whole considered forging a class, subclass, race, feat, background, monster, and/or equipment PDF book for 5e or another system could be fun. We do have a product section over on our website that we have made, some things, and we are...
Every month we have stuff in our Patreon that we make or are inspired by things that we've talked about. We also have a Kickstarter in the works. Matt Mercer wrote the foreword for it. Mike Gould is the writer on that project. Nerdarchy is essentially the publisher. We're going to be doing 50+ encounters, ready-made, drop them right into your game. Also, both Pruitt and Jim Davis from WebDM have agreed to do encounters, each do an encounter for stretch goals. We're going to have a Maze Arcana encounter for a stretch goal. And we're going to poke around. We're going to get some more of our friends out there to do some stretch goal encounters as well. So we really want to make this a lot of fun and make it a bigger community project. But that's probably about 60 days away.
As far as, feats and backgrounds, subclasses, classes, like some of that stuff, like you can find over on nerdarchy.com. We've done a lot of creating stuff. I know Nate created a couple different classes that are up there. I made a whole ton of races. I converted regular monsters or humanoids that are out there into 5th edition races. Now this was the early days of Nerdarchy, but they're definitely there, and I would probably tweak them now if I were to make them be. I think even some of them have now been officially released. So like obviously you would use their stats, not ours. Dave did some backgrounds. Dave's done some feats. We got a couple products with monsters in them.
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of stuff over there that we've worked on. Nerdarchy Doug, Ted got the scoop of most of Volo's guide playable races years in advance. Well, it's kind of easy and a no-brainer though, because it's like, what are the cool stuff you want to play? And that's what Ted went and made, and that's what Wizards of the Coast went and made as well. They're no-brainers. Who doesn't want to be able to play a goblin? You're welcome, one lazy guy. Yeah, just do a whatever you're looking for. Just do a search on the website, and there's probably like 3 articles on that. If we barely touched the subject. So who's our winner? So we're giving away.
All right. So go back to the quick list from Nord Games. We have a couple of decks. You've got the Treasure Deck Challenge 1 through 4, as well as high-level character cards. We have the stack of character portfolios and stickers and whatever else that, Dungeon Doodles has put, in their little art pack here. As well as from Easy Roller Dice, we have a set of dice and a dice tray, and they are going to Jeremy Wasik.
Woohoo!
So I will reach out to you via email probably today or tomorrow, and I will get your information so that I'll be able to send those to you. If for some reason I don't get a response, I'll grab another random name, I'll email them, and I'll keep doing it until somebody gives me an address.
Now, as always, YouTube nor Patreon is affiliated in any way with our giveaways. Heck, I don't even think we have anything to do with them either.
Other than paying for the shipping.
Other than paying for the shipping. But if you would like to partake in the giveaways, we have a place on our website. It is in the menu where you can find giveaways and contests, and that you can download a form that you mail to us at our P.O. Box. All the information is there for you. You mail that in, and we enter your name. Or, if you're a patron at any level, we just automatically enter you into the drawing as well. So even for $1, like if you happen to be a patron of ours at the dollar level, this would have probably paid for about 50 months, and you'd have been all right. You'd have broke even, winning once. So, that is how you become, enter the contest. Those are who are involved, not YouTube, not Patreon, and you can enter for free by going to the website, finding that form and mailing it to us, or for as little as $1 a month, becoming a patron. And also, we just recently revamped our patron rewards. So you can actually get a sample of what our monthly Patreon rewards look like over on the website and the store. There's also a link in the description for Impuzia, Curator of Souls. And it was pointed out after about 400 people downloaded it or so, we had some flubs that we had to fix. So if you got the flub version, we are going to be emailing back to you the good version. Unless you gave us a fake email, because I really don't think Barack Obama from the White House email address actually downloaded Impuzia, Curator of Souls. Just a hunch. Now, maybe if it was a couple years ago, maybe, but we're not buying it now. Or the current president is trolling us. I don't know. But yeah, if you're one of the ones who gave us a fake information and would like get the corrected information, just go back, give us some more fake information, and you can re-download it. Or we will be over the next few days emailing out the corrected version. Because, well, we like to get things right.
And we're also looking at updating some of the other products, right?
Yes, we are going to be updating Fantastic Mounts, but that's in the works. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, so. Kevin Daly, there's a current one. If you're talking about Impuzia, yes, there is, and it's on the site now. Should be all fixed up. The last one was missing like 3 pages. So, oops.
Yeah.
We noticed that like one small piece was missing from the first one, and we went back and fixed it. But when we fixed it, we kind of broke it more. So it's all fixed now.
I'm blaming Nate since he isn't here to say otherwise.
Michael Francis Jr., in your main campaign, if your characters fought to the death, who would win? Uthengar would destroy them all.
If our characters fought to the death?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could stand up to Uthengar's power.
Well, you could chainsaw him with Blade Barrier. But I know the ultimate weakness of Blade Barrier. It's called grapple, and use it for Cleric Cheese Grater. I don't know. Lucky's pretty tough, and the Gobblers freaking do a lot of damage.
So if it was, groups versus each other, then that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting as a team fight.
But I think Lucky's mind powers are destructive.
Carver Fortress said Gobblers would assassinate you all. We'll just have to Batman that shit and give them a bunch of drugs to distract them. Quick, deploy the LSD and mushrooms.
But where would where would Ryan and Mark go? Because they'd have characters on both sides.
They would just have to fight each other. They're like evil doppelgangers fighting each other. Another Doug says Dork Forge is planning some kind of battle royal stream. I don't know who they are. That's a name I haven't heard before.
Dork Forge, yeah, I'm not remember those.
Which I'm kind of surprised. Even if I don't follow other things, I usually know.
The Gobblos accept this form of truth, Dave.
Yeah. So yeah, I knew the secret to their heart.
You can buy them with drugs.
Yeah, that one's not hard. So we're getting close to the end, guys. If you have any, and gals, if you have any questions, now's the time to fire away. And also remember on Monday we are launching our first Brian Stillman video. So if you like the style of video that WebDM does, it's very similar to that. It's amazing what really good editing can do. I was like, oh my god, this shit looks like someone could put it on TV. It is so good. I mean, aside from our ugly faces, there's not much we can do about that.
Well, yeah.
But the audio is so clean, and Brian does a really great job with the editing and the cuts from camera to camera. It all came out really well. So I'm excited to release it into the wild and see what you guys think.
So please, share it around. Make sure we get as many eyes as we possibly can on it.
I need everyone to share it on Reddit 3 times. Now I understand you'll all be banned. Well, no, you won't be banned because that's not self-promotion. You're good. That's just random nerd promotion. But they hate us on Reddit. They hate us so much. It's hard to get our stuff over there.
Alright, so have you ever seen Aristocrats? They take
Aristocrats.
They take comedians and play D&D. For what I've seen, first-time players.
I have not seen it. I've heard of it. I think I heard of it from Ryan. I think he was telling me about it a while back. But we have not.
What's your favorite dragon, Dave?
What is your favorite dragon? That's a good question. Like, I've always been partial to... well, I used to really like blue. And then in 3rd edition, they gave him the rhino horn, which made me not like blue anymore. So I have to go with like black or green. I don't know. Sion Bloodbane was a green, and he was quite devious. And the green dragons are like the most devious of the dragons. So I'm kind of partial to them.
I like the rhino horn. I know you despise it.
I do. I want to rip it off.
If I can diverge from the basic monster manual, I like from Tomb of Beasts. I like the Void Dragon.
Yeah, that's the same one Doug said as well. I like my Cosmic Dragon.
Well,
that doesn't really exist. Come on, Radiant Breath Weapon. His spines would light up when he would breathe, just like Godzilla.
That's pretty cool.
So, I'm easy. I want to pet Tarask. Who doesn't? Elfbait likes those nasty Viking dragons. You should do an article on that, Elfbait. That would be awesome. After you're done running through all the different races and what makes them cool. Michael Francis, I'm a sucker for white. Yeah, white are stupid. They're dumb beasts, though. They're barely sentient.
Michael Francis Jr. says he'll give you $2 to be part of the Nerdarchy crew, maybe 3.
Woohoo!
Now, what does being part of the Nerdarchy crew mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it means either.
Are you signing on to do more work? Because we always need work to be done.
That's true. Oh, we got a big thing happening Monday too. Aside from the video, we get an intern, a real one.
A real one. Like an honest to goodness, legit intern.
Unpaid volunteer intern. I don't know how any of that works. I know the attorneys have told us in the past to not call them intern, call them unpaid volunteers.
Well, no, this is an honest to goodness internship that he has gone through the hoops and all the bells and whistles and papers.
Which means, doesn't that mean someone has to pay for him to work for us?
Yes, that is happening.
Somewhere.
Someone is giving him the deal to make it happen, but it's not us.
Well, it's also cool, too, because he's just finishing up his term with the military, so as a veteran.
Yes. So pretty soon you guys will start seeing some stuff about Jake we are happy to have him come and assist us.
Yeah, so he might actually be here on Saturdays and man the chat for us, which would be cool. So we won't be staring at our devices the whole time. As much fun as that is. D&D canon. I'm a fan of green. Says Cardboard Fortress. Right on. Zareth, green. You're right, Dave. Yep, green is the best. I told you guys. Plus, dragons were typically depicted that way anyway. So it's the bomb. Tea Time with Toby wants to know, what's your favorite useless 5e monster?
My favorite useless monster? It's got to be the Flump.
The Flump? I don't know. I'm not sure how they're defining useless.
Well,
like, piercers are pretty useless, like, if they don't hit with that one attack. And it's such a stupid monster, but I've always liked them for some reason.
Good to see it lying there on its side. It can't get its, can't get it to stand back up to crawl up the wall.
It, like, moves a foot at a time or something, so it's like... to try to get another attempt.
I mean, Flumps, they're healing farts that float through the Underdark, eating people's bad thoughts. They're really not a challenge in any way, shape, or form. They're ridiculous. Like, I don't even know why it blesses the pages of the Monster Manual.
Oh, Michael Francis, you know what? I was going to dig out your email. We actually do have a project we might want your help with for voiceover. And also, we're going to do a video for the Kickstarter. We're probably not going to do one of our normal ones with us sitting here, so we might want some voiceover for that too. I don't know. I will seek out your email address and get in touch with you. Because you said it before, and I was like, oh, this would be so cool to use them for voiceover. But I'm like, I don't know what to use them for. But now we got stuff. We got plans and stuff and ideas and puzzles inside of enigmas and wrapped in a riddle. Healing farts. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. They don't heal, do they? I don't think flumps heal.
I thought they had the ability to heal. I could be wrong.
They spray you with diarrhea. I know they do that. That's like their main attack is the diarrhea spray.
Ed, you can keep talking.
I don't know. I'm tired now. I'm all talked out.
Tired. We still got more videos to do.
I'm tired. I need a nap. Get ready for this Star Wars game.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought they healed.
I don't know either. They look like they should heal. Oh, the Ingest Quest crew saved the colony of Flumps. We'll have to ask Nate about that when we see him. Okay, so farts in the Underdark. Cool. Well, for us, it's the Beneath. We've renamed our Underdark.
Yeah, just, if you make name changes, it takes ownership, makes it more ours. And less steely of IP.
Yeah. We keep the Wizards of the Coast watchdogs off us. Healing farts would be badass. I don't think I'd be into that, man. I'm sure there's a whole section of the internet dedicated to that, but I want to stay far from that.
Google at your own risk, people.
Yeah. Tavern Imp is fairly useless, but it's my favorite. Is that in Tome of Foes or in Tome? There's the Tome of Foes and there's also Tome of Beasts. It's probably one of those. I'm not sure though. Cardboard Fortress in. I have a keyboard in front of me. I don't know what the dollar sign is supposed to be. 4E. Thanks. There was a badger pet monster had the power easy to kick, where you would push it at 10 feet to the distance. That is awesome. There needs to be more of that. Nerder Doug, there's Alehouse Drake and Rum Gremlins in Tome of Beasts. Yeah, I think there's some drinking fairies in one of the games as well.
And Peyton says now he needs to add healing farts into his game.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks for that.
Well, you know what? Maybe healing farts is going to be the new Sky King's Thunder.
I don't think so. That's not for me anyway.
Okay.
Some things are best left forgotten. But I think it's getting to be that time. Thanks everyone who hung out with us today. As always, we greatly appreciate that. And until next time. Stay nerdy.